All right. So by now, I'm sure everybody's heard about what's going on with Chris Hardwick. Foo?
Chris Witwicky?
No, man.
Oh.
So, what do you know anything about this, David?
Oh, please.
Yeah,
What's
he-
going on? He got caught in that whirlwind of Me Too, man.
Dude, he got Me Too'd.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick got Me Too'd by his ex-girlfriend, Chloe Dykstra.
No, seriously, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude, you would never think, the guy that does the Walking Dead show, Talking Dead.
The dude reinforced current
Nerdist.
Nerd Day culture.
Yeah, dude,
Huge influence, not a fucking guy just having a following.
Yeah.
Like major, this guy is featured at Comic-Con. This guy is headlining his own shows. He had 2 shows. I think they have one for Better Call Saul too that he hosted
Really?
before. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So this guy's big time, dude.
He
He had that great show. What was the name of that show? At Midnight?
At Midnight was one of my favorite game shows. Have you checked it out, David?
No, I gotta check it out.
Fantastic.
Awesome. It was fucking
It
awesome.
had different comedians on every night, and they have to literally
Finish a sentence or like come up with like a witty
They had to do
thing.
stand-up, but in a game format. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of like
Especially when you get funny fucking comedians.
Oh, totally. Like Ron Funches was like the ultimate champion.
Yeah, like he only lost one time. I think we saw that one time.
The one time he lost.
Yeah.
But it's a goddamn shame, dude, because nobody is safe. I mean, we saw it happen first to, damn it, what's his name? He's in Parks and Rec. Indian
Oh,
guy.
Aziz Ansari.
Remember when that happened to him?
Everyone was like, this guy is like blown
It's
out
a
of
fucking witch hunt, dude. I get it. Like, don't respect all women. Yes, please. Like, all women deserve to be respected as much as men, as
Respect
us guys.
women.
Totally. But like within reason, man. Like, you can't just be calling shit out or people out, and saying that they're being unethical or they're harassing me or he abused me because you just didn't agree with whatever his politics were.
Do you remember what Aziz got cut up with?
I guess he got a blowjob from her or something.
He got a blowjob or he hooked up with some chick and
she just had a bad time. She just had a bad date.
She
It was
had
a bad date.
She had a bad date, so she probably didn't feel like $100 after the date. And it's not like Aziz is some kind of guy that's like, oh sure, I'll turn down play whenever I want. No, he's probably like, hell yeah, let's do this.
He's a
just
guy.
like the
He's
guy
a-
from his show.
Exactly. He was just being a guy and said, cool, like she's cool with this. Let's keep going. I guess it's a two-way street, man. Like,
It always should be, but it seems like it's not at the end, which takes away from it a little. I mean, I didn't like Aziz too much before, and after this, I was just like, kind of like,
took a side more or what?
I was like, this is what you get, you douche.
Oh.
Kind of, but then, kind of, but not really.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I feel bad for people that got caught up in that situation. But hey, man, I mean, he got caught up in that situation.
With Chris Hardwick, though, you got to take it with a grain of salt when it's an ex-girlfriend saying these things. It can be a little, because girls can say things sometimes, and it's not at all what it seems. And it's really easy for the guy to get pegged on something when really it wasn't that, and it's very easy to get a group of people to listen to a female with a sob story in this way, especially in a day and age like right now.
Yeah, totally.
She could just.
I don't think so.
She could just be a pissed.
In this day and age, I think so.
No.
man.
Yeah, it's still. It happens. It definitely happens.
Dude,
More
women,
so than it used to.
Women get
for
harassed
sure.
left and right, dude.
Yeah.
Friday.
I'm not discounting that at all.
Friday. So
Totally.
I mean, dude, the environment exists. We create it.
Mm-hmm.
By we, I don't mean us specifically, but I mean men. I was at the bank on Friday, and there's this very fucking attractive lady walking on the way to Starbucks, and I'm, average guy will gawk. I got my quick. Oh, she's hot. Boom. This guy in a truck
What a gentleman.
pulls up next to her, and you can see busts his phone out, takes a picture, puts it in his pocket, and goes to the FedEx store. Like, that got me pissed off. And
He's a winner.
That shit.
What the fuck, dude? See, like,
Yeah, shit like that's like kind of like,
We
dude,
gotta
you're not
teach-
helping us out. You're
we
not
gotta
helping.
teach our little boys to be gentlemen, man. Like, it's got to be within reason.
I'm pretty sure
these cat callers and that motherfucker. Yeah, like they're pieces of shit. Like, they shouldn't be doing that.
yeah, it's just who knows? Honestly, for Chris Hardwick, I wouldn't put it past him, so that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know.
But there's fallout.
We don't know yet.
There's significant fallout. He already got taken out of his Talking Dead show. That's out.
He already has a replacement, yeah.
Yeah, he's out of that. The Comic-Con panels that he hosts, he's done with that. Nerdist, the company he created, which he then sold, he's no longer associated with them. So much so that he changed his podcast from Nerdist to ID10T, which it looks like it says idiot. So they disowned him. They said any history of Chris Hardwick's association with us, even despite the fact that he's a co-founder of the company, we're done. We're done with him. And it's so easy for companies to do this after the whole Roseanne thing. You know, what pisses me off is that it's just purely an allegation. It's not like a charge yet. Like, it's not a legal charge. She posted this blog or whatever the hell she did, saying that he was abusive, that he would just kind of dictate what her day would be like, and then when they broke up, he made a few phone calls to some studio heads, because I guess she was an actress or some kind of performer too, and she couldn't get work anymore. But
he blacklisted her.
Blacklisted. That's the allegation she's making, and his bosses or whoever he's affiliated with didn't take kindly to it and fucking just took him out of anything that he's about. I don't know where his podcast is at right now. I don't know that I've seen any updates in any new episodes, but I'm sure he's laying low. I was very excited on a daily basis to check out his Instagram because he's remodeling his house. So I was like, oh, cool, we got a new piece of furniture. I haven't seen any shit like that lately.
And you won't.
And I probably won't. And that's what pisses me off about these kinds of witch hunt things where people are just alleging some crazy shit. And it's affecting people's livelihood on both ends. And what just came out recently is that there's a long text message where she tries to talk to him and win him back just shortly after breaking up. So, like, if she's alleging that he did all this to her, he hurt her, he tried to kind of run her life, it's how true can that be when she's trying to beg him to come back?
It sounds like you're on Chris's side.
It's hard to be. I really want to be. And I don't personally know the guy. I guess I'm invested in his talents because I watched At Midnight a lot. I listened to his podcast. What was that show that he was on G4 back in the day?
I have no idea.
Olivia Munn was on it. Attack of the Show. He was like the electronic or technology correspondent or the nerd correspondent, or that kind of is what he started on K-Rock as a DJ. He was on Kevin and Bean. He did all kinds of shit that influenced all the shit that I consume. So it's really hard to put him in a bad light when it's kind of hard to be a dick when you're in front of a microphone, knowing that a lot of people are looking at you. He might be a really good actor. Who knows? He might have been a really a big piece of shit to her. But at this point, with the way this is playing out, it just feels like it's a little bit of a witch hunt.
Little bit of hoopla.
I mean,
we have to wait and see what happens. Nobody knows anything. She's just saying things right now. So
I mean, true, but you got to think like this: if you're with a company or if you're affiliated with some type of corporation,
yeah,
and they wholeheartedly believe you, they'll have your back. So I mean, I think them dropping him kind of speaks enough for itself.
I think the Me Too movement, though, is bigger than that now. I don't think
it's not.
It's influencing a lot of shit to happen to a lot of people
for good reason, though.
Yes. The reason behind it and the motivation behind it is pure. It's good. Like, yeah, women should be treated fairly, respectfully. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But in some situations, you got to imagine that some people are going to take advantage of that. And I don't know. That's just my take.
Well, yeah.
I'm torn as fuck, dude. I don't know what to think.
Good riddance, Chris Hardwick.
I think they could have handled it.
You weren't a big fan anyway.
I think they could have handled it a little.
I think you just like shitting on him.
Yeah, he's easy to shit on. That's what made him a good good public, good public figure.
What were you saying?
I think they could have handled it just differently. Like maybe at least not put so much of a limelight on it. Maybe keep it a little more hush hush. It seems like she wanted to go to the media and spread as much of this as possible, which I understand if she's being genuine in all this. And I hope that for everyone's sake, this isn't true, because if this turns out to be not true, it's better news than if it is. If it's not true, well, then she just turns out to be a liar, and that's it. If it is true, then he's a piece of shit who's probably hurt other people, and there's probably other victims out there. But we don't know yet. Don't know what's happening.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Okay.
Based on what, though?
What do you mean based on?
We
what?
know nothing at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
I understand.
Why did they drop? Why did they drop him?
We don't know.
Because they're trigger happy with that kind of shit these days, man. Like I said, the Me Too movement is doing a lot of good, but there's going to be some instances where it's not a perfect thing, man.
No.
Like some people are going to get hurt by this. Some good people are going to get hurt by this. I think. Not to say that he's a good person. Again, I don't know what he did. And again, just like
fingers crossed, Foo.
So I mean that's I wanted to bring that up just to kind of see what you guys' take was on it, and if anybody has their take on it or has a different opinion or wants to set me straight in some way or another, shit, maybe I did. Maybe somebody wants to Me Too me.
If anybody wants to do that, please write into FOOBarshow@gmail.com. Please tell us all about it and your
Stick it to 'em.
experience with Mr. Josie.
Yeah, let me see how far I got before anybody starts to bitch about that. Oh, middle school. All right. Well, I wanted to talk a little science, if you guys don't mind.
Oh, let's do it. I love science.
Well, quick science alert by sciencealert.com.
What?
Yeah. Scientists are investigating warm caves under Antarctica, which could support secret life. And are you guys aware of why people even fucking bother to study Antarctica?
It's important, right?
Yeah, but you know why?
No.
Is it because it's just a giant ocean?
No, there's land. There's actual geographical land as opposed to just all being ice.
Wait, am I thinking of
Antarctic? You're thinking of the Arctic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But a lot of scientists that also study space study Antarctica so that they can kind of get a resemblance of what a barren land is in extreme temperatures, more or less like Mars. So they've recently found some warm caves down there, which can support some crazy life that we have not seen anywhere else. So Australian scientists investigating ice caves under Antarctica's glaciers say that they're so warm they can support animals and plants. Around a specific area down there, an active volcano on Ross Island in Antarctica, steam has hollowed out extensive cave systems. You can pretty much wear a t-shirt in there and be pretty comfortable. There's light near the cave mouths. The light filters deeper into some caves where the overlying ice is thin. Most of the DNA that's found in the caves is similar to DNA from plants and animals found elsewhere in Antarctica, but not all could be fully identified. So there's probably some fossils down there that have gone down, at least giving you more or less of a history of back when Pangea was a thing and then everything broke out on what kind of life, ended up being in that part of the world. But I thought that was pretty cool. It can be the next step would be to take a closer look at caves and search for living organisms, like I just said. The findings from this new study suggest that there might be higher plants and animals, living in that particular area. So we can learn a lot from that and how they might be able to live in extreme temperatures, or how maybe a planet like Mars with extreme temperatures can maybe harbor some warm climates in one of their caves. I understand that we even want to go underground when we go to Mars so that we can kind of burrow through and live in one of the manufactured.
Be a bunch of ferrets and gerbils.
Exactly. And I think that's another. You know how like Elon Musk is doing the whole where he's boring through the city of LA so that we can set up some kind of infrastructure, underground.
Also in Chicago
for transportation. Now Chicago, it's kind of like his test run so that he can
do this in space.
Do
right?
that elsewhere, which I think is pretty dope. So it has some applicable stuff to his end goal, which is pretty dope. But
let me ask you a question.
Yeah, dude.
Do you think what is the appropriate way to recognize Elon Musk's accomplishments?
What do you mean?
Nobel Prize, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
History.
history.
He's definitely going down in history.
That's what I mean. How do you
But-
think we're gonna like?
That's,
you